Sup guys, just looking for some videos of the challenge today. I found this video let's go look at
But every time my grandfather asks me to go down in the basement to get something for him, I always get the feeling that there's someone watching me down there. And every time I go down there, the bathroom door on the far side of the basement is always open, no matter how many times I close it. Every time I go down there, that goddamn door is always open. A little update on this story. I've looked into the history of my grandfather's house where this event took place. As it turns out, several of the previous owners had died on the property. One person had a heart attack and died in his sleep in one of the bedrooms on the second floor. A second person had died of a blood clot in her brain in our living room. And the third, being the original owner of the house when it was first built in 1911, had fallen down the basement stairs and broke his neck against the wall of the foundation. Could this have been him in our basement?
Junior year of high school, my parents got a job offer out of state, so I was forced to move all across the country. I started a new school late into the academic year, mid-March, and had a hard time fitting into the new school. All I wanted was to make a friend, but was too shy to talk to anyone. It was around this time that my friends left MySpace to join Facebook, so I did the same to keep close to them. Some days later, I received a friend request from David. David was a guy that I had been friends with in my old town. Well, he wasn't exactly my friend, but rather the friend of another friend. My friend Jerry had introduced me to the group and would bring him along every time all of us hung out. We knew that David was a year older than us and that he had gone to a different school, but other than that, we didn't really know anything about him. In fact, we kind of always just referred to him as Jerry's friend because he never even bothered to talk to any of us. So when I received a friend request from him on Facebook, I was more than confused. He had hardly spoken to me when I had lived near him, so for him to want to be friends with me after all of this time just seemed a little strange. But I was so lonely and desperate for friends that I didn't care. Other than that, nothing really seemed off about him, at least not at the time. Looking back, I do remember that he had hardly any pictures or friends when I first accepted his request, but like I said, this was around the time that people...
Sorry guys, I have to pause it. I have to get something very quickly. Don't worry, you might hear a noise right now. Maybe. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry, I had to get something.
Well, I just started using Facebook, so it didn't seem all that weird for him to have such a barren profile. And over the years, his friends list got a lot bigger, even more so than mine, so I really didn't think anything of it. But anyway, I digress. I accepted his friend request, and it was just like this that David and I became friends. He told me that he had just started university and that he was lonely because he was too shy to make friends. I told him that I was having a hard time in my new school for the same reasons, and we bonded over that. Little by little, we started talking more. He shared his problems with me, and I shared mine with him. And when it was time for me to apply to university, he even helped me out. He taught me how to sign up for my SATs, ACTs, helped me apply to scholarships, and even paid for one of my application fees using a Visa gift card, so I didn't receive any of his personal information, and he didn't receive any of mine. Then, when I finally started university, he helped me with all that as well. He told me where to buy books, gave me studying tips, provided emotional support. So when he asked for my phone number, I didn't even hesitate to give it to him. David was my best friend, and I wanted to keep him close, even if we were physically away from each other. It was around this time that David started sharing more of his life with me, and all of it was pretty normal stuff. He had a job at Pizza Hut, which he hated but needed to keep in order to pay for bills. He also played soccer, but not for his university or anything. It was just a group of guys that got together on the weekends to unwind. I think the biggest thing he told me was that he had flunked out of university and that I was the only one that knew because he was too embarrassed to tell anyone else. And at one point, he also had to move back in with his mom, which he hated a lot. 3 years into our friendship, my family decides to take a trip back to the city where we had lived prior to moving all across the country, and I excitedly tell him and all of my old high school friends. Most of them were pretty excited about the idea of us all hanging out together again because after high school we had all just gone our different ways. But when I contacted David about it, he showed little interest in hanging out with us. I thought it was weird. I wasn't some stranger he had met online, but rather someone who had been in his life for many.
Wait, guys, sorry, I have to change it. This one's getting a little too long. I forgot. I saw this a long time ago. Let me find another one. If I can find it. Oh my gosh. I forgot about this one. I haven't watched it. I wanted to watch it. Watch it.
Number 15. The Mothman. Point Pleasant, West Virginia was terrorized by a tall, weird creature in a short period between November 1966 and December 1967. Witnesses described the creature as moth-like, with large red eyes which looked like bicycle reflectors. Hence the public dubbed it the Mothman. Many of the sightings were around McClinton Wildlife Management Area, known locally as the TNT area due to its former use as a World War II munitions plant. After the collapse of the Silver Bridge connecting West Virginia to Ohio, the Mothman vanished from Point Pleasant, leading believers to speculate whether or not it had anything to do with the disaster, which killed 46 people. Believers of the Mothman are divided into what it was, with some believing it was an extraterrestrial, while others considering it sort of omen for bad occurrences. Mothman sightings have, indeed, been reported prior to great catastrophes, including the
Give it a second. Hold on. Weird.
September 11th
Oh, there.
attacks. Although none of these claims are confirmed, the Mothman continues to be a subject of speculation within believers of the supernatural, and since 2002, Point Pleasant has embraced its claim to fame with the annual Mothman Festival and the opening of the Mothman Museum and Research Center in 2005. Number 14. The Dover Demon. The town of Dover, Massachusetts, was briefly terrorized by a gray-skinned, red-eyed creature known as the Dover Demon. At 10:32 p.m. on April 21st, 1977, three friends, Bill Bartlett, Mike Mazoka, and Andy Brody, all 17, were driving north when they spotted something sneaking along the loose stone wall. Thinking it was a dog, the trio shone the car lights at it, but what they saw was an alien-like creature standing only 4 feet tall. The trio drove away in terror only seconds after the encounter. Bartlett is the only one who got a good look at the creature and relayed the story to his father upon returning home. His father drew a non-famous sketch of the demon, which is the inspiration for most artistic interpretations of the creature today. A few hours later, just after midnight, 15-year-old John Baxter just dropped off his girlfriend and was walking home when he noticed a figure approaching him. After demanding the being to identify itself, it fled away before Baxter could get a good look at it. He described it as having a monkey-like posture, short with molded feet. These are the only 2 well-documented encounters with the Dover demon, but residents claim to have seen it to this day. Speculation is the demon is either a real demon from hell, a deformity of nature, or an alien sent to observe us. Whatever the motivation, it seems the Dover demon prefers to remain itself instead of fraternizing with humans. Number 13. The Mongolian Deathworm. If you thought getting lost in the Gobi Desert would be bad enough, it's worse to know there's possibly a giant worm creature living beneath the sand with a taste for human flesh. The Mongolian deathworms are said to be large red worms measuring 2 to 5 feet in length and thick bodies capable of consuming various animals whole. Nomads who roam the desert seem to have seen the worm spewing an acidic liquid, turning anything it touches yellow and causing it to corrode, while others said they are capable of releasing electric charge to stun their prey. Many people go missing in the Gobi Desert each year, and while some do end up making it out alive, the rest are rarely, if ever, found. Even the bodies are almost never found, which further sparks talk of the death worms amongst local Mongolian population, which is in turn spread to tourists. So take heed, do not wander into the Gobi Desert, or you may end up in the belly of a disgusting beast. Number 12. The Skunk Ape. In the Florida Everglades lives their version of Bigfoot. The skunk ape is a large gorilla-like animal with what is said to be an almost unbearable smell, hence its name. While the earliest recorded sighting of a skunk ape was in the 1960s, Native Americans, originating from southern Florida, had told their children if they were ever lost in the woods, never to whistle, which has led many to speculate it relates to the skunk ape. The peak of skunk ape sightings occurred in autumn of 1974, and in 2000, an anonymous letter arrived at the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office containing 2 photographs showing the alleged skunk ape. What makes the photos terrifying is the close proximity to the ape the photographer had to have been, and the sinister-looking smile on the ape's face. As of yet, the identity of the sender is unknown, and skeptics have said it depicts either an upright bear or a person in an ape costume. Believers still enter the forests of southern Florida in hopes of capturing a photo, video, or even a live specimen of the skunk ape, and whistle their favorite tunes as they do so. Number 11. Skinwalkers. Known to the Navajo Native Americans as Yinal Oshi, skinwalkers are witches who possess the ability to shapeshift into animals. While most are associated with werewolves, skinwalkers can take the shape of any animal they desire, including wolves, bears, cougars, etc. In human form, they are usually male, but have also been said to be female. Skinwalkers are also said to lie within chaotic evil side of mortality, and are extremely dangerous should you encounter one. They enjoy causing people misery and inflicting fear on outsiders